to the Wager Makers Podcast with Webb and Smitt.
Brick by brick, baby. I'm freaking out, Webb.
I was told there'd be no man. Stupidity's going to be an asset. What a bunch of crybabies.
Hello, my name is Steve Smith, and this is Rob Weber. Say hey, Webb.
Hello. What's up, Smitt?
What up, Webb? I'm Steve. I'm Smitt. That's Webb. We are the Wager Makers. This is the Wager Maker Podcast. Thank you all for joining us. We've been doing a lot of these. We're at number 62 of the Wager Maker Podcast. Holy shit, 62 of these fucking things we've done so far.
62, Smitt. Time flies. Time flies when you're having fun. 62 is a tough number. I don't know. What'd you come up with?
I looked it up. I Googled this, Webb. And I got
the
center for the Miami Dolphins teams back in the 70s, the one that went 17-0. Crushing it with Larry Zonka and stuff like that. Jim Langer was the center for that team, Hall of Famer.
Yeah, we're down.
That's what I came up with. I had no 62s. I had nothing.
Yeah, I did it too. I didn't really come up with anything other than that either. I think we kind of Googled the same shit. So it was a tough one. I got to tell you. 63, I think, is going to get a little bit easier. But I don't know. Let's see. Let's see what we come up with.
All right. Wager Maker train pulling through already.
There it is. Yep.
All right. Big week, Webb. We got week 1 of the NFL is down. Week 2 coming up. Thankfully, we tied the chickens with the chick picks.
We never would have heard that. The chick picks, yes, we came in even with the chick picks. So.
3-2, respectable for the chickens, respectable for us. 3-2.
That's right.
Never go wrong with 3-2.
That's right. Chickens.
All right. So we'll be doing that again. We'll batch them up. The Bohannon Farms chickens,
Farms, baby.
Yeah, I just saw the video a little while ago, Webb. They're gonna have to. We might have to. They were either indecisive this week, or they eventually picked. But they were either indecisive, or we're gonna have to start starving the chickens for an extra day.
That's what I was gonna say. Don't feed them on Tuesdays or whatever. Yeah, no breakfast on Wednesday morning.
Right. Absolutely. I think that was the deal. They had a little. They finally came up with some picks and they were decisive. But I don't know if it took a little bit of time.
Yeah,
it was a tough week. It's a tough week.
That's right.
So a lot of stuff going on. We can talk a little bit. Webb. So week 1 of the NFL, right? Anything stand out in your mind? Anything? Anything comes to mind from the games that happened this week or anything?
Yeah, I mean, it was some older quarterbacks to me are looking old. You can kind of go down the list of them. I think Phillip Rivers obviously is done. I think Brady didn't look too good, obviously. It's funny, he came under some criticism from Arians. Now Arians is talking shit. You don't hear Brady whining about it. And then I don't think really Breeze looked too good either. So, I mean, those older guys look good. And what I think it's going to be more of the same. I don't see Mahomes looked really good. The Chiefs look good. Some of the same old teams, I think, looked as good. Same old with the Jets, and then looks like the Browns the same way. So we're kind of looking similar to last year, I think, at this point. So,
right, I agree with the some of these guys, man, they getting long in the tooth, and it shows. Even like you said, Brady looked a little. Try this again.
Just talking about your USB.
All right. Am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
All right. I don't know what happens with that. So anyway, look, you guys are looking a little long in the tooth, right? So Brady, you mentioned a little rough day against the Saints D. I think the Saints D is much improved. That could have something to do with that. Brady, obviously, brand new with his team. Everything's brand new. So it's going to look a little rough. Breeze, they didn't have a real good day offensively. They had a couple big plays from the defense, a pick 6 that helped them out a lot. Even Big Ben, first day back after a couple years off, basically, man, they won that game. They pulled it out and everything, but certainly the younger quarterbacks just look so much. The Murrays out there and
Murray looked
Arizona.
Great. Yep.
Mahomes, obviously, we talked about it. It was a tough day for Deshaun Watson, but
he's got I mean, you could see the difference what's going on in Arizona just with DeAndre Hopkins. It's amazing. And talk about the older guys. I think out of the 3 or 4 that we mentioned, I think Roethlisberger left some points on the board. They could have put a hurting on the Giants. That defense is for real with the with the Steelers. But I think Brady looked okay. He definitely threw the pick six to Jack Rabbit there. That was a bad play on his part. But that first one, I initially thought the same thing that they're saying now. I thought that was on a receiver, especially the dude is 6'5", and he's a pretty much a monster, Mike Evans. He could have done something there. I think he broke the route off there. So I think Brady looked okay, and they're going to be fine, I would think, just based on his work ethic and the talent that they do have. It's going to be an interesting week. The Saints are Michael Thomas is out this week, so I'm looking to see how they do. But I don't know about the Raiders. Their best receiver is on the IR as well. My man Derek Carr looked pretty good, so they pulled out a W too. That was a kind of a shootout, which was surprising. L.A. and Carolina, so. It was great to be back. We could have had some more luck, but it wasn't disastrous. It was definitely a week one. As soon as it started, I'm like, oh, geez, this is fucking definitely first week of the season. We didn't jump in with both feet, which was good. But just happy as fuck to have it back.
Right. And, Webb, I thought the NFL week one play for not really having preseason, for not having any practices for the COVID thing, new guys, new places. It was a pretty clean, well-played week, I thought. It wasn't some of these first weeks in the NFL season, you're like, man, these dudes are sucking. The false starts and the penalties, things like that. And just I thought it was a crisp, obviously there was some mistakes made week one. There always is. NFL, there's always seems like the plays get sloppier and sloppier each year. But I thought it was good competitive games without teams hitting in the preseason, really doing anything like that. I was impressed with the play of the game and the pace, I guess you could say.
Yeah, there was some physicality too tonight. You heard some pads popping and some helmets cracking, which I guess kind of surprised me a little bit.
Right.
I find to take that away.
With no fans, man, you can really hear.
Maybe
it
that's what it is. Yeah, maybe that's what
they have the crowd noise pumped in, but I think it was with no fans, man. You could really hear them pads cracking sometimes.
And Cam Newton did his thing. I think you're going to see. They're going to be making some moves. I think there's some disgruntled wide receiver. That dude Allen Robertson's disgruntled. And, it's interesting. They came out and beat that game. The Lions, like we said, more of the same old shit. I kind of bit on them for some reason. I don't know what's going on with the Bears, how they pulled that one out either. But those two defensive ends. But, it's interesting. We got Dirk Diggler and then Cousins did his same tired ass act up there in fucking Minnesota. So, and Brady and not Brady, Rodgers was Rodgers. So it's, a lot more of the same, like we said.
Right. With the Lions, they were up after 3 quarters, Webb. They were up over the Bears 23-6. I was sitting there watching parts of this game thinking, how long are the Bears going to go with this Trubisky motherfucker?
Yep.
Well, first of all, I said it going into the season.
Yeah.
And then you're 3 quarters into the first game, and you're like, this guy is total garbage. Then you come back and win, and their number one wide receiver, one of their wide receivers, Robinson's like, I want out of here.
Yeah.
You won the game.
Right.
I get it. If you're a wide receiver, you're playing Trubisky, it's probably not the best, but after you go 1-0, you pull a game out in the fourth quarter against your division rivals, then you shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up. Then, okay, we'll go on next week. We'll wait till this barn. It's only a matter of time till the Trubisky.
Right, exactly.
Till he goes 3 for 20 and
thing
2
goes off
picks.
the rails. Right. Absolutely.
You go out, you have 2 targets, and they're both over your head or shit like that. It's only a matter of time. But when you win the game, hold it up. All right,
suck it up for a week.
I don't know. It wasn't perfect, but we're 1-0.
Right. In the division, too.
Yep. So, talking about, Tom Brady and getting older. So Belichick and the guys, they won their game, used kind of new offense with Cam Newton. So it's kind of like, which one was more important, Webb, to the Patriots' success over the years? Was it Brady or Belichick, or a little bit of both, or a little bit of neither? Or what's your thoughts on that?
It's a little very premature here at this point. I think the Dolphins are still very much a team that got had the number 1 pick. I think we were all kind of enamored with how they played competitively, where they were, at one point I thought we were thinking they were going to go 0-16 last year, and just because they won some games and they were competitive, we kind of thought they were ready to turn into a 9-17, which clearly they're not. And it's tough to win on the road, regardless of fans or no fans in conference. Belichick had fucking a year to prepare for this game. And whatever, Josh McDaniels, it wasn't that hard. They let the dude run the ball 15 times. He's only run it more. Cam's only run it once more than that in a game in his entire career. So that more than anyone, they really take it one game at a time. What do we got to do to win this week, win this game? And that's what they did. They, did enough to win that game. They did cover, but,
we'll see. I think one of the games I really like this week is I think it's the Sunday night game. Everybody's thinking, oh, Cam Newton, Patriots. Cam had a great, nice day, right? So 15 of 19 passing, which I'm really surprised at percentage-wise for him. That's like ridiculous.
Yeah, but
only 155 yards,
right,
but that's what we're trying to do. But then he had 75 yards rushing and 2 rushing touchdowns. So, I mean, that's what he's going to do. He took some hits. We'll see how long he lasts like that. I mean, but solid first day. But I think they're going to Seattle this week. We'll see for sure this week, what they have. And I think Brady and his guys, like you said, I think Mike Evans was a big reason why that first interception happened. And so we'll see. But one trend I did see, Webb, I'll talk about how clean and crisp the games were and how it seemed to move along. And it felt like good football being played. So I'm like, remember when we talked about early in the baseball season, there was like a bigger strike zone. Okay, we talked about it. We noticed it, and then we had to try to watch it. What trends they're thinking. And so I looked, and sure enough, today some stats came out about flags in the first week of the season this week compared to other weeks. Okay. And now I don't know if it's a conscious effort, if they told the refs, listen, we want to keep these games moving along, keep the flags in the fucking pocket. We had enough of this.
Opening games of years past, you mean?
Yes. Okay. Right. So week 1 holding calls, Webb, are down 78% compared to 2019, right? And they are down a total of 58% from the 5-year average over the last 5 years. They're down 58%. This week. So just something I noticed, like I said, it was games were moving along. They were high paced. They were good. It wasn't all that stopping and starting. I think they got rid of that pass interference flag thing this year and all that stuff that slowed shit down. But this is something we'll keep an eye on. I don't know whether that's going to help the overs or help the unders. You got to think maybe somebody's touchdowns they could call back on the holding call won't be called back anymore. But also not calling a holding call also means that the clock just keeps rolling and
right. Well,
there's less plays.
So there's gonna be less
see how it we'll see how it plays out. But sure enough, I went back and looked, and sure enough, this stat popped up right when I pulled it up today about the holding calls being down so much over the from this time to last year, week 1, and then over the last 5 years, week to week, down 58%. As well. So I thought that was pretty cool.
That is big. I mean, and I didn't see, it's not like we saw defensive linemen jumping up and down screaming that they were getting held. So that's interesting too. So, I mean, I'm all for it. Like you said, definitely, I didn't, sometimes like this for every fucking flag, every play, there's a flag, and then they go to commercial. It's, it's horrible. So that's good. I mean, it was clean. It was quick. Like you said, it did go quick. It seemed, I think I just chalked it up to being weird. I guess no, but now when I think about it, you're exactly right. You're spot on with that. Yep.
So you mentioned Webb, our boy, our man, fucked us over. I can't believe we picked some stuff against them. I didn't personally, but I can tell you so the Wager Makers Survivor pool, Webb, is halfway after week 1. Half of our competitors for the $300 are eliminated.
Yeah, no, I don't. That doesn't surprise me.
We've had the Colts or the Eagles, but our boy Minshew, our boy Dirk Diggler.
Dirk Diggler did it.
19 out of 20 for 173 yards and 3 touchdowns. Webb.
Unbelievable. I mean, he's got no one on that team.
Nobody. They're ready for running back. Robinson's an undrafted free agent rookie running back there at them guys. So we love this fucking dude. He's everything Baker Mayfield wants to be. Yeah. Baker Mayfield wants to be this quirky, off the wall kind of guy that's got they say moxie, the leader. Everything Mayfield wants to be.
Stereotypical quarterback. Yeah. Yep.
So so he goes up against our one of our hated. I can't believe we took the Colts in some of these games. So a ton of people in our big Survivor. We had mentioned Colts being a good play this week in Survivor. Rivers 36 of 46 for 363 with 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions, and a loss to Dirk Diggler Minshew in week 1 with his new team
on the road. Yep. Yeah. That's a disgrace. That to me is almost. That division, I think, is almost over. I think Tennessee, if the Titans can get a kicker that can kick a ball, 3 quarters, 75, 3 out of 4 times can kick a ball through an upright. They'll win that division going away. just based on Rivers sucks. Again, we love Dirk Diggler. He just got no horses. And same thing with Deshaun Watson. There's no one, if J.J. Watt's going to get hurt here in a minute, and once they lost Hopkins, that's it. That's it.
Yep. Unbelievable. So that was I was so disappointed in us more than anything that we went against Minshew, and sure enough, he proved himself right once again in that game. So moving on. Speaking of Tennessee, right? I'm not complaining because I had Denver +3 on Monday night.
Yeah, would we end up pushing on that?
No, I think they won by 2.
Did they?
Tennessee won by 2, so I got the win with Denver plus the 3. And we talked about last year about their field goal game, right?
Yep.
Last year they were 8 out of 18, Webb, in field goal attempts.
And made it to the AFC Championship.
And a team that's really like run the ball.
Yeah, it depends on that shit. Right.
In close games every week. They're really you're in close games every week.
Yeah.
So what do they start out this? They get Gostkowski, I guess he's a former New England Patriot.
Yeah, he was good. Yeah, Steven Gostkowski, whatever his name is.
So they pull him in right before the season starts. Dude starts out 0 for 3.
Yep.
Plus a missed extra point. That's 9. That's 10 points. 10 free
10 points.
And we needed every bit of it. We won by half a point or a point or whatever, depending on when you got the spread, whether it was 2.5 or 3 or whatever. Tennessee pulled that out. Actually, Gostkowski kicked the winning.
Yeah, he got back, and I think he'll be all right. I think. Yeah.
But just crazy for them to be so dismal. It's an NFL team to be that bad in field goal kicking, and then start off the season like that was unbelievable. I'm sure they thought, oh man, we got this guy from New England. We got that problem
solved. Right. Yep. Exactly.
Maybe he's not going to be perfect. He's probably not like he was maybe 8 years ago in New England, but he's not going to come out and go 0 for 3 and miss an extra point.
Right. For opening week. Right.
In Denver, notoriously an easy place to kick.
Right. You can kick it from 70 yards. Right.
60 yards. So.
That's interesting too. That Coach Fangio, he's another one that just amazes me. I don't know. And I don't know if we remember back in the height of COVID or what was going on in this height of this social injustice, he came out and said he doesn't see any race. He said something like he doesn't see racism in football or whatever. Something fucking retarded that he said. So now he runs out of timeouts in the game. He's like, "Oh, it's all my fault." How do you get the job? How do you keep the job? Adam Gase, and the list goes on. It amazes me how it's just recycling and retreads. These guys have proved to the league and to the world that they can't do it, and then they get another $1 million job the next year. It's crazy.
Right. Unbelievable. Like there's nobody else out there can get this job.
Right.
Where's Stephen A. Smith with the right privilege on his fucking cap?
Yeah. Right. Well, that's what it is. Yeah, I got to agree with him on that one.
So, speaking of which, let's go up to your boys up there in the NFC East, Webb. I was kind of happy to see that team called Washington pull this game out. I don't know if you watched any of this game or not.
I did. I watched it. I was rooting for them just based on I knew a lot of people. I did not have Philadelphia or in the suicide, so I was rooting against them for that reason. And then I'd much rather root, especially these days, for the Redskins and the Eagles. Anyways, and it's good to see Carson Wentz play like shit. And Ron Rivera, we talked about, he seems to be a good guy, and he's ill now, so no ill feelings towards him. As far as I'm concerned, the Eagles can win. The Redskins or the Washington football team can win another 3 games, beat the Eagles again and the Giants twice. I'll be rooting for them those days for sure.
Right. So I was happy to see that. Man, that Redskins defense, they've used a ton of top draft picks on that front 4.
Yeah.
Man, in the second half, I mean, they were on Carson Wentz like all damn day. That defense, I don't know what's going to turn out because I don't know how Haskins is going to turn out or how this offense with kind of not really a marquee running back or without much going on. But man, that front 4, that defense was all over Wentz, and Philadelphia's got a lot. They're really banged up early.
Yep.
They might have a hard time. I think they got a tough game this week. We'll see how that turns out, but
looks like we might have been turned out wrong on Chase Young. He was an animal. He was an animal. And that other dude, they have 2 other guys, I think, from Alabama and on that line as well. And plus they got Kerrigan, I think Ryan Kerrigan. He's been there, seems like, since we were kids.
Right.
But that's obviously the strength, and it was good. But he looked like a terror, Chase Young. So I was not too happy to see that, to be honest.
Yep. A couple of LSU guys had pretty good first weeks. They got Edwards-Helaire. For the
He
running
looked
back
real good.
for Kansas City, looked like he just picked up right where whoever running back they had. Not even like a rookie. They had 100 and something yards rushing, some catches, a touchdown, nice touchdown. And then Joe Burrow, we'll be seeing him Thursday night against our hated Mayfield. So we'll see how that pick turns out. Burrow had his team in position to tie at the end of the game. Dude misses a field goal, pulls up lame on a field goal for the Bengals, misses it. Burrow had a nice day. Good rushing touchdown. Wasn't crazy good passing and stuff like that, but didn't look like the game was too much for him. But unfortunately for him, he's at the Bengals, and so we'll see.
He looked like a rookie quarterback, but like you said, I agree totally. There's certainly hope there if you're a Bengals fan. Yeah, he didn't look out of. Game wasn't too big, wasn't too fast. He'll get better. The better they get with him. So, and they're saying all the right things too. Joe Mixon said it's left a bad taste. He can't wait to get back out there. So. I'm rooting for them a little bit. I'm a Burrow kind of Joe Burrow fan, so he looked good. I'm encouraged to see what they can do.
Yep, he had his team in position to tie at the end, and they didn't. AJ Green actually threw the touchdown pass to win, but AJ Green got caught pushing off.
That's what happened. Yeah,
and then they missed a field goal to tie. Yeah. So, all right. So that was I think our biggest takes from week 1 in the NFL. Webb. Monday night we had up there in New York. We put this on our Facebook talk page. Who would you rather have? Both New York teams are struggling with young quarterbacks. You got your boy Danny Dimes. I know you're not crazy about him, but to me he looks more like an NFL quarterback in every way than Darnold does at this point. We've been big fans of Darnold in college and stuff, but and I don't know if it's because he's got nothing around him or what the deal is. But if I had to pick right now, I would take Jones, be honest.
Yeah, I don't want to overreact on any of this stuff from 1 week, but I see what you're saying. He looks good, but then he's gonna fumble, and he's gonna turn the ball over.
Huge turnover.
That is going to happen. And he does have, I think Barkley. That's the ultimate. Saquon Barkley's an ultimate security, but at the end of the day, Jason Garrett's just going to call a fucking handoff, and that's what's. And plus, the dude Ingram is good, and then he's got some decent receivers. Darnold has nothing from top to bottom. He has no receivers. The running back is out. He has no lineman. He has no head coach. He has nothing.
They got rid of their best defensive player even.
Right, exactly. A couple guys I think opted out. So I don't know. I'm going to reserve judgment on him for now. He's getting what I would think a bad shake, but he did not look good. He certainly did not look good Sunday. So.
All right. So real quick, before we go any further, I want to bring up a couple of things. I talked about our survivor pool, Webb. Out of the 20 people in that for $300, no entry fee. Just ask everybody shares and likes and subscribes and all that kind of stuff. But it's already down to 10 people. We got a new one, Webb, starting this week. It's going to be a season-long college football pick'em pool. It's for the regular season only. All right. You go to runyourpool.com.
Yep, that's what the other one does. Yeah.
And the pool ID is 136976, and password is podcast in lowercase. All right, what you do, you take 10 games every week, and the winner at the end of the season with the most wins wins $300 again. Wins $300.
Sponsored by MN3 Technologies and the Wager Makers Podcast. Nothing to get in. Just sign up, like, share. Tell everybody you fucking know to listen to us and subscribe to us and like us and forward us.
And all of these are going to be posted on our Facebook and Instagram and all that pages. College Football Pick'em website, runyourpool.com. The pool ID is 136976, and the password is podcast. Excuse me. The password is podcast. So just so everybody knows, Webb, I got so many pools. I got Survivor. I'm in 4 or 5 Survivors. I got Knicks. I got this. I got that. I got to remember not to screw up and not putting some in. And of course, Garjul is in this fantasy football league. We lost one of our members that I talked about that been the last 20 years. So I get Garjul in. I help him. I hold his hand. I hold his hand the whole draft, Webb. And in week 1, we're matched up, and he beats me in week 1.
There you go. That's how it works. That's how it works. That's how it works with that silliness.
Last time I'm nice like that.
It's a carnival game. That's why.
That's right. No skill. Remember that, Garjul. If you're out there, it's no skill in this.
That's right.
All right. Well, also, while we're on it, thrivefantasy.com, promo code WagerMakers. We get 100% match of whatever money you put in there. And they got all kinds of stuff, right? They got a 7.5K GTD contest for Thursday night game, 15,000 for NFL Sunday, 7,500 for NFL Sunday touchdowns only, and 2,500 for NFL versus. And for you PGA fans out there, they have 5,000 guaranteed contests for the U.S. Open, which starts Thursday. So get in there
tomorrow morning. Get on that now. If you're
Thrive Fantasy. ThriveFantasy.com and Wager Makers is the promo code, so make sure you get on that.
Put in $50, get $50 match. There's a lot of good stuff. I mean, it's a way to make some money there for sure, and it's not a season-long thing, which I love the most about it.
All right, so Webb, we had college football last week. We had a few games. I thought Miami, we got the win and the cover on that, but I didn't think they looked very, very solid in that one.
They did not.
They have one player on the field, and he didn't even look. He looked like a quarterback that goes to Houston, not one that's like a Miami savior.
Yeah,
definitely probably the best athlete on the field and made a couple plays with his legs. But other than that, I think they play Louisville this week. I'm not sure what the line is on that, but I think we'll be looking at in a second. I might go with the Louisville Cardinals on that.
That quarterback for Louisville looked good. I had Louisville.
They played good last week.
Yeah, he looked pretty good. He might be the next one in a long line of those similar looking quarterbacks. Kind of, he's a skinny kid now, skinny, lanky, kind of throwing the ball. Looks like a young Lamar Jackson, actually.
Yep. And just like I said, we got beat a little bit on. I'm taking points this year. Florida State. Man, my buddy was like, man, why is Florida State is them losing to Georgia Tech wasn't even like all over the news and shit. I'm like, because they stink now.
Why would they? Yeah, they're not even.
They're not even a headline. Florida State's not a headline.
No, they suck. They're done. It's over. Yeah, it's over.
Can't they get a quarterback that can throw a ball? Something.
It's over,
anything?
Johnny. It's over.
They're not. They used to be. Even when they had a quarterback that couldn't throw, they had an athlete back there.
Yeah.
But their defense would be so badass, and they'd have running backs that were so badass. They just made it.
But they'd even throw it
because the dude was faster. They would do shit.
You just throw the ball to Peter Warwick or Lavernius Coles on a 2-yard slant. He'd be gone, running around, touchdown.
Georgia Tech quarterback, the freshman, the young kid, was probably the best player on the field in that game. And that's like saying something when you're at Georgia.
Huge.
Against Florida State, against the Seminoles. Just say that kid's the athlete on the damn field.
Done.
So, well, the duly noted, Florida State and who was the other ones? Miami. Done. Don't even we've been giving them credit now, Webb, and losing bets on these teams for 3 years because of what happened in 1987.
Right, when we were kids, right?
Still thinking, well, they got to pull it out. Someday they're going to get
right. They're going to win one.
Yeah, they're done.
It's over, Johnny.
All right. So, I think that's it. Anything else from college?
Well, we got to talk to. We got to certainly speak to Ohio State or Pac-10.
Big 10,
Big 12, Big 12, Big 12, Big 10, Big 12.
Well, Big 12. We get to Big 10 first because they're finally getting with the program. Dude, Big 12. What the fuck football are you playing out there?
Awful. They smoked us. They hurt us twice, badly. And they were two easy picks. They were like, these are two winners.
I mean, Kansas, you're laying less than a touchdown to whatever they call them, the non-5, whatever the fuck they call it. FCS shit, something.
FCS, yeah.
I mean, you can't win by a touch. You can't win by a touch. You get smoked.
Right. Not even you turned it on. I'm like, fuck this.
Yeah, it was like the late game. I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna fall asleep to this bitch. It was first quarter. I was like, that's shit's over.
Just shut that shit off. Right?
Like sometimes you'll turn on a game and be laying 27 and go, oh, well, that's over. He ain't doing. I was laying 6. They could have been down a couple touchdowns. I'm like, well, they only got to win by 6.
Right.
They were down by 4 touchdowns or something.
Yeah, that was the eye test was telling you that one. That was nothing.
Webb, I tell you every time. I tell you about these teams from Louisiana, the Raging Cajuns.
Yeah, they look good. They did look good.
Iowa State was ranked in the top 25. Top 25.
I was even after what they did at the end of last year with that quarterback coming back. I figured, especially with the teams, with no Ohio State and some of those. I thought they would be flirting. I'm not saying they'd get in the top 4. I thought they'd be flirting like with 6 or 7 at some point, and a win here, and then they could kind of get in the conversation. They're done. So fuck them. It's over.
Over.
Yeah. See ya next year.
And I think that happened last year going into the season. Everybody was kind of like, Iowa State, this is a squad. This is a squad that got some players. And same thing happened last year. They lost a shitty game earlier too, and then they played better down a stretch after the pressure's off.
Right. When it don't matter. Yep.
And then Kansas State loses to Arkansas State. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely a shitty loss, but that's one of those. Arkansas State is similar to like those Louisianas. They're the best of that. That lower level. That's a lot of dudes that can't get into the bigger schools just based academically or whatever. So they are pretty good. You'll see them at the end of the season in their bowl game. That's big time football still.
All right. So Webb, like I said, we got most of this stuff out of the way. Oh, Big Ten football. We've been saying it. Where the fuck you at, Big Ten?
Finally, someone woke up. So what do you think? I mean, do you think that they look stupid, or are they smart? Were they smart, or what do you? I mean, the whole every game that we kicked off, we have the text going between me, you, and Nick. Like, what are these assholes thinking? What are these assholes thinking?
Like, I'm watching. I mean, I remember texting you. I'm watching Southern Miss and South Alabama.
Yeah.
And Michigan's at home going, what the fuck are we doing? Yep. Ohio State's at home going, what? I'm watching Navy and Tulane, and he's like, what are we? You telling me Tulane University can have a better program for testing for coronavirus than fucking Ohio State? The Ohio
Northwestern?
State?
Right.
Northwestern?
Right.
Northwestern's probably devising a virus in their lab right now, Northwestern.
Exactly.
A vaccine.
Michigan, right. I mean, come on. Come on. And even half of those games, they had fans. Some of them, I know Miami had fans. Right. Florida's a little different. I get it, but
State had fans.
Yeah.
They had like looking like college shit going on in there.
And these guys can't even get a fucking game going. So
they can't even get a run. Like, fuck, yo, man.
Right. And I understand it's a little different now. But it was only a couple weeks ago. Now there's that testing, for 15 minutes. You're telling me they couldn't do that shit at these colleges fucking 3 weeks ago? Get the fuck out of here.
Fucking shitty going on there. So now Pac-12, you're out. Pac-12 is probably sitting home like, Big Ten, what the fuck are you doing?
Right.
We got a deal. We were sitting out.
Exactly.
We were sitting. Like you were gonna do it. Like SEC would be like, yeah, them Southern dumb fucks.
Right, exactly. Don't care. Right. Hillbillies.
We're Stanford. Right. And you're Ohio State. We'll sit this one out, and they'll look dumb. And now what? Now who's fucking stupid? Pac-12 sitting at home. Oregon players leaving every fucking other day. Somebody.
Six guys. Yep. You got guys petitioning the fucking governor.
Yeah. Please let us play lawsuits. Let us fucking play football.
Exactly. Yeah, lawsuits to play college football when the other half of the country goes. It's like no one else is playing. Like they're not the only ones who wants to play. Everyone's been playing with fans.
Yeah,
fucking crazy.
Oh God. All right. So Webb mentioned 3-2 last week. Not bad for us or the Chickens. Respect.
No. Hey,
very respectable 3.
Listen, I would have 3-2 on Sunday would have been good.
All right, so we're gonna go with the primetime games again. Again, a couple. One thing's for sure, there's a few games this week that I really like, and I'm gonna make sure that if you say something different than that, I'm gonna say, listen, I really like this other fucking thing. Okay. Usually I go along a little bit, but it was a rough first week. It's time for us to both start sticking up for shit if we think we got something for real. All right, so we'll start out the Thursday night game. That's going to be a prime timer. The Browns and the Bengals.
I got the Browns here -6 and 43.5. I like the Browns here.
You like the Browns plus the 6?
The Browns are laying, not the Bengals. Shit. The Browns.
Shit, I gotta check the chick picks. I gotta check the chicks picks because I'm not sure what they took on this. But you like the Browns?
Yeah. I'm still. I gotta
root for Minshew instead of Joe Burrow in this one. And I know it's not about who to root for. It's just, man, to me, everything about this Browns just trends downward. They just
OBJ is still another. I mean, he's just clearly there's something going on there. Wherever he goes, it's a fuck up. So
now you see OBJ knows that like this big news article about he likes to get. I don't care what anybody does in the comfort of their own home or behind closed doors, and as long as there's not kids involved or whatever.
Right. It's all voluntary. Right?
Something. You saw this?
What? No.
It's on.
Of course
it was like on Instagram. It was like it went wildfire. I'll send it to you. I didn't want to bring it up. But since we're talking about OBJ, and I guess they're talking about the Browns are already talking about maybe moving him.
Yes. Yep. Well, that doesn't. I mean, he's probably. I don't know if he's marketable or not
with that price tag for for just what he does. He doesn't do anything to help a team.
You know, it's interesting to see what would happen. I wonder if New England would take him. Maybe kind of get him in line. They have a track record of taking those troubled dudes and kind of getting them in there.
That might have been when Tom Brady was leading the pack.
Yeah,
too.
that's true. That's true.
Story with Cam.
No doubt. No doubt.
But all right. Anyway, we'll get off of that. But okay, so you like the Browns?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be taking the Bengals when it comes on Thursday night. But our official pick will be the Browns because I'm gonna let you pick this because this pick for me is just about Joe Burrow and Minshew. And Mayfield, and I'm watching it Thursday night, and I don't have a strong feeling about this, so we'll go ahead and do that. So, okay, a game Sunday, we're going to be picking the Cowboys and the Falcons.
I cannot bet on the Cowboys. They looked horrible. Their offensive line sucks. Their linebacking core sucks. DeMarcus Lawrence took $100 million and fled the country. They're going to stay. They cannot. There's no way they could stop Ridley, Julio Jones, and Gurley. So you got to go with the Falcons there. I got plus 4.5 here.
I like the Falcons as well. In the NFL,
that's easy.
Over a field goal is a tough one to take. So I'm leaning towards taking points all the time. I think Cowboys probably a better team and probably better than
I don't think so. Dak Prescott is overrated like none other.
I think also the Falcons are better than they looked against the Seahawks too, maybe. But I don't know. We've been saying that for quite a while now.
Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, that's too. But the Cowboys are in the same boat. They're not good. They I don't know why people think they're good. Dak Prescott did dick in the second half. That was a bad call, yes, but there was other stuff that could have been done prior to that. It's the same old thing. They are in the same old like the other teams that we mentioned. It's just good enough to lose to make you think they can win and then talk about it Monday how they could have done this if this happened type shit. Fuck
and then
them.
The late game on Sunday, Webb. The late afternoon is the Ravens and the Texans.
Let me see the number here. I know what I want to say here. -7. I'm going with Baltimore in this one.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Just I'm not putting anything on Houston until I see something better I see something to go with Watson.
I don't believe in Will Fuller. I don't believe in any of those other, skill position guys that they have. Randall Cobb did nothing. JJ Watt, like I said, is going to get hurt. He is a baller though, no doubt. And Deshaun Watson, which is well documented how we feel about him, but there's just too many weapons here. A touchdown is not the end of the world here. It is the NFL, but they could beat them by a touchdown here, I'm thinking. And Houston is going to get destroyed quick. That coach sucks. I don't care what anyone says.
All right, moving on. The Sunday night game, Webb. This is if you disagree with me on this one, I'm going to override you. This is one of my games. I love this. I love this game. What do you think about this Sunday nighter? Patriots and Seahawks.
I like Seattle -4.
All right, me too. I think what Cam did last week was impressive, but it was against Miami at home, opening day with Belichick, the whole bit.
Right.
Also with a team that didn't see what this offense was going to look like with Cam Newton behind the center and all that kind of stuff. Now you got 1 week on film. The Seattle defense would say at home, but home doesn't matter here. Obviously with no fans, but I still like the Seahawks. I think they're a good team, and Patriots will be good. They'll win some games. They'll win some games in the AFC East,
correct?
For sure. But I don't think they're good enough to go to Seattle and win this game.
2 rushing touchdowns is not going to be good enough to get out of there with a win.
Cam Newton isn't going to run for 17-yard rushing touchdowns in this game.
Yeah.
So I like the Seahawks in that. And then the New Orleans Saints go and open up the new stadium in Las Vegas, which would be a pretty big deal if
there were fans. If
there were fans in the stadium, but that's not the case. So the Saints are favored by about 6. It looks like here.
No. Maybe I thought it was 4. It's 5.5. I'm sorry. I thought it said 4.5. This to me, being a Cowboy fan, I know all about opening up these fucking stadiums. It is a fucking death trap every fucking time. Doesn't matter. Fans, no fans. Cowboys have done it, I think. Shit, at the top of my head, I know they've done it 4 times and they've lost every time. You throw in the fact that Drew Brees, I think, is done. Michael Thomas is out. They overpaid Kamara and underused him. I'm going to go with with my guy Derek Carr. I'm going to take the 5 points, 5.5 points here.
All right. It pains me to say it. I don't think Breeze is done, but I think he's certainly got some luster off. I think they can still win with Breeze as quarterback. I still think take him over 20 other quarterbacks in the NFL.
Yeah, that's.
However, I will never say no to a home dog on a Monday night. And so I'll stick with the Raiders with the pick.
And they do have the defense is good of the Saints. I'm not taking anything away from those guys either, but I just think it's again, I just from being a cat, I know how it is with these fucking openings. There's something about these billion-dollar buildings when they're open. And I think Derek Carr has a little bit of confidence based off of last week, the points he scored. Again, it wasn't too impressive. And he's missing that his main receiver, but that running back can certainly play. Jacobs, I don't see much from the Raiders this year. I just think this is a kind of a tough game, and especially after last week with the Saints, kind of emotional type thing, and then with Thomas out, I don't know what they're going to do. So they got to prove it to me. Jacobs
is really a fucking running back, man.
Yeah.
Some dudes when they're carrying a rock just look like running backs. You know what I mean? Just look the part.
Yeah.
And this dude is a real deal. He's strong. He's fast. He's got the vision. He can do it. He can do it all. So, all right. So that's our picks, right? We got the Falcons plus some points over the Cowboys.
Yes.
We got the Browns laying some points.
Yes.
We got the Ravens laying some points.
Correct.
We got Seahawks laying some points, and we got the Raiders getting some points. So hold on 1 second. We're going to be right back. Here comes the chicks.
Here come the chicks. Break out the chicks.
And we're allowed to say it because it's not chicks, it's chickens.
It's chickens. Peeps.
All right. Hold on 1 second. We're going to be right back with the chick picks.
Hey, wager makers. Looks like you guys did all right this week, but you still couldn't go ahead of the chickens. We're going to dominate this weekend with a 5-0. 5-0, something you guys have never been able to do. We are the winners. Good luck, losers.
Saints. Got the Saints. What else we got? Come on, girls, pick your picks. We got the Saints, Baltimore, New England, Cincinnati, Atlanta against the Cowboys, the Atlanta Falcons.
Okay, and we're back. We want to thank all the helpers out there at Bohannon Stables. Even the chickens talking shit now. They're like, oh, we're gonna go 5-0. You guys suck. Wager makers suck. 3-2. All this shit. So, all right. So we got a few differences, right? So I think we both took the Falcons. Both us and the chickens took the Falcons.
Right.
The chickens took the Bengals.
All right. So it's 2. No, that's a difference.
No, that's our one. That's a difference. And the chickens took the Ravens as well. So we both have that.
Yep.
The chickens took the Patriots. So that's a difference.
All right. There's 2. So
and the chickens took the Saints. So we got 3 differences.
Yeah, all right.
The Saints, Raiders, the Patriots, Seahawks, and the Browns, Bengals. So it's going to start Thursday night. Shit's going to start Thursday night.
All right, that's right. There'll be some
that,
chicken wings Friday.
Right. We needed that Steelers game Monday night just to catch the chickens. They were ahead of us. They were ahead of us by one.
That's all right. That's all right.
So, all right, now we'll get into the rest of the. You want to hit some college games first, or want to stick with the NFL for now?
Let's just finish off the NFL. We can probably follow it up with some college.
So, we talked about the Thursday night. Looks like the Giants go to the Bears, and the Bears are laying a few.
Let me see. Yep. I got the Bears minus 5.5. I didn't see too much of that Bears game. I'm iffy on both these teams. I think both quarterbacks suck. Saquon Barkley. Jason Garrett is going to have him between the 20s and handle, but he's going to fuck up somewhere along the line here. And then Trubisky and Danny Dimes are going to Dickie Dimes are going to turn the ball over here. 5.5 is. I'm going to go with the Bears just based on Khalil Mack and the defense against that offensive line of the Giants, because I know that there's a couple. The Cowboys' offensive line sucks, and they got a couple out Cowboy retreads starting for the Giants on that offensive line.
All right, I'm going to disagree with you on that one. Not for any reason. I think you're a little wishy-washy about this, but I think I'm just going 10 points. When I'm in doubt, I'm taking points. When
I
I
will not play this game more than likely.
All right, so fair enough. We kind of split on this one. Moving down, we both kind of like the Falcons. We both like the Falcons. So I'm going to put that as definitely one of our picks.
Yeah. Well, I will not be playing that game either, but I would.
It's for obvious reasons for you, but we both like the Falcons plus the points. Lions and Packers, Webb.
Well, I mean, it's impossible. Let me see the number here. It's almost impossible. 6 points. I'll take the Packers all fucking day long. I'm betting that as soon as we hang up. That's done. All right. Fuck the bet. Fuck the Lions. 7. Yeah, fuck the, and I mean, Rodgers is ridiculous. Yep. And then now he's pissed off, so he's just gonna do fucking throw touchdowns all day.
Yeah, long. I feel like maybe them picking a quarterback was the best thing they could have ever done. And they actually had some young wide receivers. Did pretty good for them.
Yeah, but I see that kid had a couple drops and just Rodgers was shaking. I wonder if that kid, I meant to see if that kid got cut or what's going on with him. He's got the hyphenated name, I think. I want to check and see what happened with him.
Oh, well, dude, yeah, hold on, because I wanted to say this for those fantasy football people out there, right? There's a couple people you want to look for. Malcolm Brown, the running back for the Rams, was good, and Benny Snell. If you got your waiver wires out there for the Steelers, because it looks like Connor might be down a little bit, and Benny Snell Jr. looked really good in that.
Yeah, he runs hard, that kid.
Right. Also, for Green Bay, they got a couple wide receivers.
Lazard
showed up. Lazard, I think was
one.
He
scored a touchdown, I think.
Right. And then Marquez Valdez-Scantling was the other guy for the Green Bay.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he might have had a couple drops there. I don't know if Rodgers going to be going back to him. I'd stay away from him.
All right, he had a pretty good day. I picked him up to put on my bench, but we'll see what happens. When you lose the Garjul, you start getting desperate.
Yeah, no doubt.
Picking up dudes. So those were my 4 guys you can pick up in your fantasy leagues. That Scantling, Lazard, Brown, and
the hyphenated guy,
and Benny Snell.
He was good, yeah.
Kid from Kentucky, but also James Robinson. I think it's James John or James Robinson. He's the running back that rookie free agent got most of the carries for Jaguars the other day. So those are some guys if you're looking to help out some wide receiver and running backs. All right, so moving on. Webb, we got the Titans favored by 9 over the Jags.
Oh, man, this is a tough one. That's a number there, and especially when you see this guy missing kicks left and right. So, shit, man. You know me, gun to my head, I'm always going to go and take the points. I think I don't want to overreact by, you know what? I'll take the 9 points. Fuck it. I'll take the 9 points with Dirk Diggler. Fuck it. I got to get on the bandwagon at some point.
Right. I agree. I don't think we're going to take this as one of our maybe games this week, unless you're feeling real strongly about it. But
I'm not.
If we had to pick this one, why not take the points? This also might be one to look for an under. These teams with the field goal problems and the running games, these teams, and just Jacksonville, we'll see how it was if game 1 was a mirage or if game 1's real. But Tennessee is usually in fairly lower scoring games. Seems like I don't know if that trend really turned out to be that way last year, but that seems to happen. So this next game, Webb, I like a lot. How Indianapolis? The only reason I don't like it is because I don't understand the point spread. The Vikings and the Colts and Indianapolis is favored by 3. I know the Vikings got their ass beat by Green Bay, but I think it's a Green Bay team that's pretty damn good. And the Colts, I just don't see them. I like the Vikings in this game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any problem with that pick either. I don't think the Colts are really any good. We're certainly going to find out this week. But Kirk Cousins looked like shit too. I don't know. You know, they seem to get away from the run when Cook was running the ball pretty well. I did watch some of that game with Michael Bellafy. Yeah, I mean, I got no problem taking +3. Why not?
Right. Okay, moving on. Dolphins and Bills.
Bills look good, man. And then the Dolphins really did not. So I don't know if that was a function of who they played or what was going on. I'm not, you know, we're on the take the points bus here. I'm going to go with the Bills here. I just think that they're man for man, they're just that good enough to beat them by a touchdown. I think.
I agree. I think Bills are just better. I don't know that this is one we want to do. Are we going to take this as one of our picks for the week, or are we just going to both say this is a tough game, but we would
let's take the Bills. I think.
Okay.
I mean, that's never a home advantage anyway. Buffalo's probably going to like.
Fans.
Yeah, right. Buffalo's going to like to be down there. I don't know that they're going to smoke them, blow them out, but I think it will be certainly within that number, in it to win it there. So yeah, I like the Bills.
Okay, we talked a lot about Jets went down early. It wasn't 5 minutes into the week. It seemed like Jets were down 21-0 last week, but I think maybe the second half, maybe they played a little tighter.
They did, yeah. They came back.
49ers. Looks like Kittle might be injured, who's obviously a weapon, and against the Jets. They just picked up. I think the Niners just picked up Sanu, the wide receiver, for a little bit.
They did, yeah, and that's good for them because he was when he was good in the years in Atlanta. Shanahan was the OC there. In no way, shape, or form can I take the Jets here. I think this is Richard Sherman. I think went on the IR too. That just shows it's the beginning and the end for his career. Just the defensive line and the defense of the Niners, they did not look good. I think that may be a little bit of an aberration. I'm sure they're looking forward to seeing the Jets team here with absolutely nothing.
Even Le'Veon Bell's out. That was matter anyway.
Right. They don't give him the ball. Denzel Mims was their bright spot, one of their picks, first round, I think, or one of their higher picks. He's out IR as well. They had no one, even with those two, like we said, they got no one on offense, no one on defense. More of the same you're going to see from Darnold this week. I don't know, and I'm sure Shanahan's dialing up some plays with whatever they got. They'll beat them by 7 points. But we got to take this one for sure, especially
coming off a loss. I like the Niners laying the 7. No problem. The next one I like too. Rams go to Philadelphia. I talked about that front line of the Eagles just getting decimated last week. Man, I can't imagine Aaron Donald not doing the same thing to these dudes.
I mean,
Carson Wentz running for his life again. And I think they got more injuries, more issues, less wide receivers. Everything's falling apart for the Eagles early, I think.
I mean, we can only hope on that one. The only thing that's given me some pause here is just it seems to be a little bit too easy based on how good the Rams played. I mean, technically the Cowboys could have and should have won that game. But Aaron Donald is fucking ridiculous. Brockers is another guy that's good. And Jalen Ramsey, I mean, he played well. He had a big hit that forced an incompletion. And then he did get the call just based on reputation on that.
That offensive pass.
On that OTI or OPI, whatever. I got no problem, obviously, taking the Rams here. I did like their game plan offensively to start. It seems like they got away from that a little bit. Goff, I don't know, is very good. But like you said, based off of that defense, even those couple of 2-3 players I just mentioned, and if they could kind of throw that ball around a little bit, I think they should be able to win the game.
Right. Then certainly the Rams will have a more capable offense than the Redskins, who still scored 7. Still scored enough to win against them. I just think they'll be able to take care of business. I like the Rams for sure.
Yeah.
Broncos, Steelers. That game's a little over 7. Everything points towards the Steelers in this one, but NFL 7+ is always
tough. I mean, I guess I'm depending. What time is this game? This is an early game. Okay, so if this is 4:00 or later, I would end up playing this game. I cannot take the Broncos plus the points here.
No.
The coach sucks. The quarterback the jury's still out. The best defensive player is out.
I think Lindsey, their running back, is out.
Yeah, Melvin
Gordon had a good game the other night. It seemed like, but they're like kind of catching out of the backfield guys out.
Yeah, Lindsey is good, and I just think without Von Miller, that just changes the whole cachet, the whole swagger, anything. And they don't have anybody really to scare you on offense. Gordon can run. He's not Melvin Gordon. It's not my Wisconsin anymore, where he's going to run for 200 yards or whatever. So I think it's at the big half point, but we could buy it down. But I like the Steelers. They're pretty good.
All right. So the next one's the Panthers and the Bucks. This is a big point spread here. If you're looking, just speaking of suicide picks, I think my suicide picks this week, I'm going between the Buccaneers and the 49ers, between the two, and maybe if I have a couple entries, I'm going to split it up between the two. But that would be my two picks this week. I think Tampa Bay gets on the winning side this week against the Panthers, and I think the 49ers beat the Jets pretty easily. But what do you think about this with the point spread, though, Webb?
I mean, just they scored some points, which was a real shock to me. As many points as they scored. I'm talking about the Panthers. I think Brady will be sharp. I don't think there's any way they're going to lose the game. I would actually lay the points here. I just think you're gonna see Gronk be much more involved than it was, and you're gonna see. Actually, you know what? Godwin is, I think, in concussion protocol, so I don't know if he's playing. Wow. I don't know that he's going to be playing. You know what? I'm going to punt on this one, but I would certainly, if you want to talk suicide, I like the Bucks. I like the Bucks, Niners, Titans. I think I might have saw one more. That's
maybe the Steelers, but I had the Steelers last week in my suicide.
That was the one. The Steelers were the other one. Yeah, that's who I would go with there. Those seem to me pretty solid, and definitely Tampa Bay and definitely. San Francisco.
Yep. Moving on, they got that team called Washington. Goes out to the Cardinals. Man, the Cardinals looked good last week. That's a solid win to go into San Francisco and win in week 1. They looked super explosive with Murray back there. They got a little offensive line help, and with Andre Hopkins, unbelievable. Look,
I mean, that just changed that changes the whole team, the whole complexion of the team. Yeah, they look good, but now it's funny. Now they're laying 6.5 points. Yeah, that shit would have been unheard of. So I don't know that. And what the defensive line of the Redskins did, and that's probably the weakest part of the Arizona team is their offensive line. That's 6.5. I don't want to get too hyped one way or the other here. I'm going to punt on this game too. Gun to my head, I'd probably buy that to 7 and take the Redskins.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, definitely not a play I'm looking for at this one. But if I had to do it, I would probably take the Cardinals, but staying away from that one. The next one, Webb, Kansas City goes into, I guess it's Los Angeles Chargers. They'll play playing their first game at the new stadium as well, I believe. Laying 9 points.
Yeah, we got 8.5 here. Kansas City looks real good. It's funny. I don't see too many. That defensive backfield still scares me a little bit. They do have Honey Badger, I know, and they got those couple of studs on the D line there, Frank Clark and the other guy, Chris Jones. Shit, man, I don't know. The Chargers, they're always supposed to be good, but they never seem to get there. You know what? I'll take the 8.5 with this one. I'll take the home team just off of.
Oh, okay.
They're not going to win. Something's got to. They're not going to lose, but maybe they'll win by 7 only.
I don't know, man. I think we stay away from this one. To me, sure. The Chargers couldn't even have a hard time scoring against Cincinnati. If you're not going to score 30 points, you're not going to be.
Yeah, let's go back. Let's lay it. I think that's.
Well, I just say lay off. But I'm just if you can't score 27 points, you're not going to be within 7 points of this.
Yeah, and I mean, no Derwin James too. That's a huge difference for them. I mean, Joey Bosa's a man, and the other dude Ingram's good, but yeah, I don't know that they have the horses either.
Right. I know 9 points is a lot, division game, all that stuff. I'm just saying stay away. Moving on, we like the Ravens. We both said that we like the Ravens laying the touchdown, even at home over the Texans. That's a little scary one for me. But moving on to Sunday night, Webb, I want to emphasize to everyone, to me, if you're looking at a game of the week, we don't really talk about games of the week. This is my game of the week. I love the Seahawks in this. I know people are high on Cam. Hey, I got him on my fantasy team. I like him too, but I think the Seahawks will shut that shit down this week and make him pass and see if he can win that way.
This one just shows you how huge, to me, the Jamal Adams trade was. I mean, that completely changes the defense for me. I mean, he can almost shadow Cam here. There's really no receivers to speak of that he needs to worry about. Certainly anybody down the field. And if it could be wide open, and Cam would fucking dribble it to him anyway. I have no problem taking Seattle. I think this is, if New England gets out of there with a win, you're gonna see maybe a block punt, a return kick, or something. But that would truly, we're gonna really get close to the answer to our Belichick versus Brady if New England gets out of there with a W. I like Seattle.
All right, fair enough. And then we talked about Raiders Monday night. Always like the Monday night home dog. The Raiders are plus about 6, right?
5.5 here. Yeah, I'm 49.5. I'm gonna. It's Monday night. I'm gonna play the game. I'll do something small on the Raiders for sure, just based on
Maybe even possibly an over in that game.
contrarian pick type thing. Yeah, I don't know about that with the Saints defense and no Michael Thomas. That changes a lot of things for me. I'm an Emmanuel Sanders fan ever since he won us that money in the Super Bowl, but he didn't have too big of a game, right? Last week.
Right. He had a touchdown and just kind of in the second half caught a couple balls, but but the Saints really, they mix it up. Jared Cook, the tight end, had a few big passes. You can always swing it out to Kamara. They got some guys to throw the ball. Breeze finds some guys.
Yeah, we'll see.
Obviously, Michael Thomas being out hurts, but Breeze usually finds some guys.
I'm going to take the Raiders there.
Here's what we got, right? We got the Falcons. We got the Packers. We got the Vikings. We got the Bills. We got the Niners. We got the Rams, Ravens, Seahawks, and Raiders.
Did we say Titans? Or no, those are games we're taking, right? Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Those games we're taking.
Yep.
All right.
That
sound good?
Yep. Those are
all right.
winners.
Now we'll move on to college. There's some college. Don't forget, there's some college games. I think SEC starts the next week. But hey, don't forget our college football pick'em. Go to runyourpool.com. The pool ID is 136976. Password is podcast. You pick 10 games each week. At the end of the season, whoever's got the most points wins $300. There's nothing to enter. All you got to do is share our shit around. So do that.
That's right. Subscribe, like, and tell everybody.
Yeah, how hard is that? Yeah, tell some people. Get some people involved in shit. And tell some people, hey, you can win $300.
There you go. Right.
How hard is that? All right, so moving on, we got the NCAA football.
This is so weird, Smitt, because usually this list is pages long for the lines. First of all, there's no game until Saturday, which is weird.
Right.
And there's only, I don't even know if there's 10, 15 games here, maybe. I mean, it starts with our UL Lafayette getting minus 17 at Georgia State, which I'm assuming we're going to stay away from.
I like them better as a 17-point underdog.
Yeah, no doubt. Like, I don't see much. I mean, what do you got over there? Then I'll speak to it. What do you got on your end?
Okay. I know Tulane came up with a big win last week, but to me, they looked a little rusty. And we always like Navy, and Navy got pounded by BYU. You know they're not as bad as that. I kind of like taking Navy plus the points in that game.
They look that quarterback looked inept. I got to stay off of that one.
Right,
I don't know. I would. They got to show me. So that's again, it may be slim pickings. We may have to circle back to it, but I'm not comfortable with that. No
okay,
way.
Here's what I like. I like Louisville minus 2.5 over Miami.
I like that. That's easy. No problem there.
All right. And then we're looking at some more.
I'll tell you one I like. I like Baylor minus 4.5 over Houston.
I'm fine with that.
And that's a writing game. I don't know the time here, but it is 12 o'clock. It looks like 12 o'clock. That's good. Yep. Kick us off early. What else you got?
There's not, like you say, there's not a lot out there.
Wake Forest, NC State.
NC State, maybe. Well, the only thing is Wake Forest already played one, which usually is a big advantage to me.
Great point.
But I like NC State in this game. I don't have too much reasons why, other than I think they're a better coach team at this point, better up and coming team. I think they had some building blocks last year.
Yeah, they're okay. They had some.
They also. I'm looking. Last year they lost their last 5 games.
But I know Wake Forest didn't have anything either. Like you said, that's a big deal that they played a game though.
And that's Clemson too. There's no better practice game than Clemson.
Our hand may be forced. If I have to, I'm going to go with the NC State there minus the 2.5. We'll stay off that for now.
Maybe just go, man. It's too early. We're going to take 2. What about Notre Dame and USF? You know they're going to fuck us no matter which way.
That's going to be where's that one at? It was down the bottom. That's 2/3.
USF and Notre Dame, Duke and Boston College, and then Pitt and Syracuse are like the.
What do you think of UCF? I was thinking maybe UC. Well, what about Georgia Tech? You said they look good.
Well, no, I didn't think they looked very good.
All right, so I like Central Florida.
Better than Florida State.
Right. So I like Central Florida minus the 7.5 against Georgia Tech.
They've been good to us over the year.
Yeah, they've got some credit with us.
We can certainly give them the benefit of the doubt going into week 1 that they got some athletes on that team. and can be more certainly offensively more less inept than Florida State.
Yeah, gotcha. That Notre Dame is 25.5. I don't. How the hell are they going to cover that? There's no way.
All right. We'll take USF. We'll take some points. USF plus the big 26.
Yep. And then I saw maybe another one. Oh, you know who I like? I like Appalachian State minus 4.5 against Marshall. Marshall looked horrendous. They played, right? I think it was.
Yeah, both 1-0. Both 1-0. Marshall killed somebody in their first game.
They? Maybe I'm thinking they got killed. All right, maybe we'll stay away from that one.
We had that one. It was Marshall and
do we have the other way?
Eastern Kentucky was 59-0.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, that's why. I just didn't even bother watching it. That's what it was.
You remember it being a blowout.
Yeah, right. I didn't even before I first score I looked I knew it was over.
What about your Dukies play Boston College in Boston College first game?
What's the number there? I got no problem going. Duke had +6, BC plus Duke played who? No, it wasn't Carolina. Who did Duke play?
Duke lost, and that was the Notre Dame.
You know
Duke
what? I would
Boston.
have to say Duke in this game, I think, maybe.
Yeah, they look solid. They look pretty solid. Their quarterback looked like he wasn't overwhelmed in that game.
This is probably his second season, right? Because so I don't think Duke is a horrible play there. -6 only.
Okay.
But I think we're going to have a problem at night is the thing. Hopefully there'll be some NBA or some hockey on, but I don't see anything else. That 8:00 game is that NC. We're going to have to do that NC State thing. That's all.
Right. NC State. We're going to write that in right now.
Yeah.
All right. And speaking of, while we're on it, NBA playoffs are winding out. But just so we know, Louisville, Baylor, UCF, USF, Duke, and NC State are our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 picks.
And hammer those top two there. That
love Louisville.
Louisville and Baylor.
Love Louisville and Baylor. All right. NBA Webb. The NBA executives must be very disappointed this morning in how this Western Conference final has turned out.
I would to a point because it's the Clippers really still don't have that cachet or anything. The Lakers are still there, which is the big money team, and they could still ultimately get Celtics-Lakers in the final. So I think that is one thing they can kind of hold their hat on. Of course, everyone would like to see the Clippers versus the Lakers, but they're a fucking disgrace. Doc Rivers needs to resign. He cannot win a big game. Cannot close out a series. That was just a clinic on how not to do it. Even this whole the Miami embraced it and look at what they're doing, and the Clippers fought it, and they are embarrassed and going home with that team. And even the stupid comments Paul George said it wasn't a chance. Get the fuck out of here. If you would have won that game, you won a championship, you'd be fucking jumping around. Shut up.
I posted it on our Facebook yesterday. I videoed it, Webb, from Sports Center.
Yeah.
The Paul George interview after the game. Right. And I posted it on our Facebook page because it was so fucking it's exactly what you expect from a dude that doesn't win.
Right.
That doesn't have the will or the heart, I guess, to win the big game. And I know, look, I ain't busting on him. He said he had some kind of, depression issues in the bubble and all this fucking kind of shit. That's all fine. Right.
Right. Well, that's not what we're talking about.
But he comes out, right, says, "We never felt like it was championship or bust." That's a quote.
Right. Well, what are you playing for?
The fuck are you playing for? What do you think? You think you're joining up with Kawhi for?
Right. And they traded the fucking half the future to come get your ass.
$1 billion fucking dollars with these guys. And then Webb, he goes, "We didn't have maybe we haven't had enough time together as a unit." Motherfucker, you're living in a bubble with the guys. Go shoot some hoops.
Right. Go play video games. Do something. Right.
For the last goddamn 2 months, you've been living in a bubble with the motherfuckers you're playing with. Maybe we need more time to spend with each other.
Right.
You're never going to have more time than you had this year.
Right. Never.
Ever.
You're not going to see these motherfuckers now again until whatever the next training camp is.
I posted on our Facebook page because I couldn't believe what he said.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Both of those lines, it never felt like all. Well, that's the difference between you and LeBron and Michael fucking Jordan.
Yeah, well,
to them it always feels like a fucking championship.
That's all it is. What are you playing for? You think Larry Bird and Charles Barkley? You're right, but MJ, you couldn't. MJ slit your throat playing dominoes.
We never
fuck
felt
outta
like
here.
it was championship or bust. Those dudes feel like it's championship or
Yes.
bust every fucking day.
Right. From 7, right. Minute they wake up, that's all I think about.
And speaking of which, I've been hard on LeBron. We get in this Michael Jordan fucking LeBron thing. LeBron's a bad motherfucker.
Dude, you've been comparing him. That's not a bad silver medal there. Yeah.
Do anything. He'll get assists, rebounds, fucking
Whatever
points.
it takes to win.
You need, LeBron gets it for you. He's a fucking man out there.
Baller. Heart, everything.
I can't believe I feel bad because I feel like we've been hard on LeBron.
He gets his props.
Because-
He's doing just fine.
of the Jordan fucking thing.
Right. He's just
But
doing just
LeBron's
fine.
a fucking man out there.
And
it's
then,
It never really. What the fuck? What am I watching you for then?
right. Wait, get the money back, that bitch. Right.
When I had $100 on that shit, I felt like it was
Hell
championship.
yeah. That's right. With championship for me, motherfucker.
Give me my $100 back.
Right. And then you see that play in overtime in the Celtics game with Jimmy Butler, where he went up against Tatum and like bumped him twice. Still goes up over like the defensive player, like the best against on-ball defender, whatever that those advanced metrics are, and hits him twice, goes over him to get it to, unbelievable, like the heart of a freaking lion. And this other guy's whining that it's fucking now championship or bust.
I can't believe how Jimmy Butler has flown under my radar all these years. So, like, I always know he's a great player and shit.
Right.
But, man, the fucking Heat, them dudes are fucking balling, dude.
Yeah.
Block that dude on the Heat.
Man, the Bay. Oh, yeah, that was crazy. Yeah,
Unbelievable.
that was crazy. Yep, that was some game. That was incredible.
Conference. You want to look at dudes that fucking it's a championship or bust? Them motherfuckers.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's Marcus Smart. That's Jimmy Butler. Right, that's Bam Adebayo. That's Jason
Right?
Tatum.
Them dudes are playing to win. Playing to fucking win. And you've been up half the games you played against Denver, you were up double digits. We already knew it was a championship bust for you. That's why
15 points.
I was on you in game 3, game 4, I was like, I ain't doing this again. They don't want it enough. I took the Nuggets.
Yeah.
Easiest $500 I made.
Yeah, we
Nuggets-
learned that shit on that bullshit. We were
Nuggets-
counting that fucking money in game 4 and game 5, or game 5 and game 6, whatever it was.
Right. Unbelievable. Doesn't never feel well. Really, that's why when you play, that's when you get paid millions of dollars. It's championship or bust, brother.
Hey, it is literally it's the semifinals of the conference. Yes,
Right.
you lose, you go home. That's
Hell,
the
what you in that bubble for?
It's ponderous.
Like they look like a team just ready to leave the. Like, listen, I've had too much of this fucking Disney World life. I'm getting the fuck out of here.
Just
No place like home. Whatever.
Yeah.
To,
See you next summer.
whatever the fucking some. I wish I had some Disney shit to sing right now or something.
Tippity doo dah.
Fuck,
Fucking Jimmy
man.
bullshit. Right.
Oh, and then that East Conference is going to be a battle every game. Those teams are into it, and
Game's easy.
it'll be interesting. This does set up to me. I think LeBron's pass into the finals is going to be a little bit easier with the Nuggets, but we'll see. That team showed up.
I mean, talk about a team. They fought every 3 of those games. I mean, Noah, whatever, Djokovic, whatever.
They had every right to just fold it up and go home. They were down double digits in every game. They had a chance to get eliminated.
Won in the series against the Jazz and came back and won. I mean, Jamal Murray can play. I do like the coach. I'm not the biggest Porter fan. I don't think he plays any defense, but I love Djokovic, and he can present some problems for Anthony Davis. I mean, that dude had a triple-double in the third quarter last night. So I'm interested to see. I mean, I would like, just for the fun of it, to see the Lakers get upset. I may just throw some money. It's going to be 6-7 to 1. I think I heard something like 675 the Lakers. I doubt they're going to lose the series, but I'll take a small something on the Nuggets to get that done. But I'm looking forward to it. And like I said, that block and then that overtime and that whole Eastern Conference game reminded me of back in the day. Like, these dudes were scrapped. They were fighting.
Really battling. Jimmy Butler, that dude does all. He's a baller, but he does all the dirty work too, man.
Oh yeah, everything. Yeah.
And man, they got dudes on that team that can hit. That hero dude can shoot.
Yeah.
The Dragic or whatever. What's the other
lefty? Yeah.
man? Them dudes can
Powder-
play, man.
Hero. Yeah. Yep.
That dude that came up with that block the other, I think it was on
Tatum. Yeah.
unbelievable.
That was crazy.
And the Celtics got players all over the place too.
Marcus
It's
Smart
good
and
game.
Adam. Yeah.
That was a good game. Good game. Good
Yeah.
like just good basketball to watch. No matter what
Right,
you were on, that was a good heart. And even the whole East has been like that with the Raptors and the Raptors, and I think it was the Raptors and the Heat, or the Raptors and the Celtics, whatever the fuck it was. But all those were good. And man, Heat just took it to the Bucks. Everybody was on the Bucks. He just took it to them.
And it's funny, that's just the exact opposite of what's going on with what happened with the Clippers, because they kind of embraced it. They were like, they all hang out, like they say, they play video games, and then like Jimmy Butler, they have coffee, and Jimmy Butler buys all this crazy coffee and makes everybody coffee in his room. It's like something like hokey shit, but you see it on the field. They all trust each other, and they're fucking they fight for each other. That's what it's all about, man.
That's what it's all about, brother. All about in sports. That's why fans like us, we respect that.
Right, exactly. What you want to see. Right. Yeah.
Not a bunch of dudes being like, oh, the fucking food in fucking Disney World sucks and all this shit. Come on. Man.
Right. It sucks. I'm making $29 million this year.
You're literally living Disney World, motherfucker. All right. So moving on, hockey web coming to
best. Love it, man. I gotta love it. I love my
Vegas team. Had them going all the way. They surprised me, and they had a game. I had turned that game kind of to another game the other night. They were up 2-0 in the third. All of a sudden, I'm like, holy shit! They're in overtime. They're gonna lose this shit.
Yep. Yeah. I do think. Listen, the Islanders have a tremendous season, but I do think Tampa Bay gets that done. I do have them in the series. I do like them. I've been on them through this whole thing, and I do have the Stars to win it too a little bit, but that's going to be great too. I mean, you want to talk about guys giving all these dudes are laying down in front of a hockey puck. Yep. It's a piece of ice getting hit at them at like 90 to 100 miles an hour. These dudes are taking in the shins and the gut, laying in front of it. So it's been fun. Almost every game goes to fucking overtime, and that's exciting as hell. So it's great.
Even if you're not a huge hockey fan, if you're just a fan of competition and fucking sport, you can't
give it all meaningless.
You can't help but get into that shit.
Exactly. The sudden death, it's crazy. It's awesome. You know what I wanted to mention before we get on to that? I want to give some, actually, we've been very, very hard, myself in particular, on MLB, Major League Baseball. I want to give them some credit, some kudos, whatever you want to say, for going with this bubble idea for the playoffs. It looks like at least they've learned, certainly from their own experiences with some of these teams, having these breakouts or whatever you want to call them, and then also learning from what the hockey and the NBA day has done. I think it's tremendous to do the playoffs, that we're going to have playoffs kind of, at least the best way to have the playoffs go on uninterrupted is to bubble it up, put the condom on it. So I think that's just, I want to applaud them for not being too stubborn or pig-headed, not to say that there was only one way to do it, and also to learn from maybe their mistakes a little bit, and also with the success that the other leagues have had. So good for them. And it's seldom do I say Manfred did something good, but that was a real good idea, I think.
Yep. And hey, man, speaking of sporting events and all this shit, playoffs, they're about a week or two away from being into the playoffs, the baseball.
There's maybe 10 games, a little bit over 10 games. Yeah, for most of the teams. I think the Cardinals still have a couple more games that you can see them playing doubleheaders every day type thing.
So looking forward to that. Next week, we'll have more on the baseball playoffs. It looks like we're getting close to being Lightning against the Stars. Islanders still have a fighting shot, but we'll see what happens. And then obviously basketball, we're down to the Final Four.
All that good stuff. That's going to be good.
All right. Just go over a couple more things. Hey, if you're in the survivor pool, 10 of you left, $300. Get your picks in. Don't forget about your picks. Thrive Fantasy Wager Makers is the promo code. Get your stuff in there. Get in, man. You get fucking matching money.
Why not? It gives you something to do on Saturdays. It's not going to be that many people. You got to certainly have a chance to, be right around Christmas time, something like that, where some money be coming in. The holidays, it's $300 beats a sharp stick in the eye for doing nothing, and you're going to be doing shit anyway. So just remember to put your bets in.
$300 right now. College pick'em pool, brand new. It starts this week. It goes on for the rest of the season. We wanted to wait, let a couple weeks of the season get in here. Runyourpool.com. Pool ID is 136976. Password is podcast. You pick 10 games every week, and whoever wins at the end of the year gets $300. You're just going to share our shit. So want to thank you, Wilbur Investigations, Nick Perone's company. Say that name again. MN3 Technologies. Nick is subsidizing our pools. Thank you very much, Nick. Dig it. John Groh, thank you for the bumper music. Wilbur Investigations. If you're up there in Monmouth County, New Jersey, need some help, need a little investigation work, little fraud action, they can do whatever they need to do to find out what you need. iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, Google Play Music, Podbean, Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, Devin's going to tell you how to listen on YouTube.
Hey guys, it's Devin. Make sure you subscribe to the Wager Makers podcast on YouTube, like all their videos, and click that bell so that you turn on your post notifications and you never miss another video.
Don't forget, you can check out our picks on sportswatchmonitor.com, Facebook at the Wager Makers podcast, also the Facebook group, the Wager Makers Talk group. Check it out. Twitter at the Wager Makers, Instagram at the Wager Makers. The Wager Makers at gmail.com is our email address. Thank you all for listening. Hopefully we get some winners this week. Falcons, Packers, Vikings, Bills, Niners, Rams, Ravens, Seahawks, Raiders. We're going to kick the shit out of some fucking chicks. And in college, it's Louisville, Baylor, UCF, USF, Duke, and NC State. Thank you all for listening. Webb, take us on out of here.
Brick by brick, baby. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Thank you, Wilbur Investigations. Thanks, Marty Johnson. Thanks, Thrive Sports, Fantasy Sports.com. And remember, our new pool, guys. Come on, get in it. Sell everybody $300. It's going to be great. It's very easy. Runyourpool.com. Put it in your phone. Just hit remember your code. That's what I do. I got 3 different things. I put them in my favorites, my 3 different Survivor pools. I just hit each one and do my picks early in the week. 136976 is the ID, and podcast is the password. Runyourpool.com. And again, brick by brick. Thanks, everybody.